Top German journalist received 600,000 from Putin ally, leak reveals.
Here's a summary of the article.
A leading Western journalist who has long been considered one of Germany's top independent experts on Russia received at least €600,000 in undisclosed offshore payments from companies linked to an oligarch close to Vladimir Putin, leaked files have revealed. One of the few journalists anywhere to have had direct and regular contact with the Russian leader, Sipel, who by his own admission has met Putin nearly 100 times, has acknowledged receiving money from accounts linked to the oligarch Alexei Mordashov, a steel and banking magnate placed under sanctions last year for his close ties to the Kremlin. The documents, and Sipel's response, suggest the payments were for his work on a 2015 biography called Putin: Inner Views of Power and a 2021 title, Putin's Power: Why Europe Needs Russia, both originally written in German. In a lengthy response to The Guardian, Sipel acknowledged he had received money from Mordashov. On publication, the books were welcomed by some critics who praised Sipel for his fresh approach to Putin. The Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung called him Putin's mate, after the positive reception in 2016 of the Russian-language version of his book Putin: Inner Views of Power in Moscow, attended by Putin himself, while the Süddeutsche Zeitung said Sipel had effectively made himself Putin's legal representative, namely by excluding the facts. For Sipel's documentary Ich Putin, ein Porträt, he was given exclusive access to the president, following him across Russia.
This post received a score of 5,200, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Sad how cheaply those crooks bought propaganda throughout the world.
Some do it for free unintentionally.
I just wanted to show how crazy the stories are. Unintentional propagandist.
Joe Rogan, is that you?
I'm just asking the question.
Journalist who has been given exclusive access to Kremlin might be on the Kremlin's payroll. How very surprising.
There's a difference between something being obvious and the obvious thing being actually proven.
Greater than Sipel is a journalist for the German TV and radio companies ARD and NDR. ARD is the major news outlet of the country. Russia got themselves a premium mole there for a bargain. It's made worse by the fact that ARD, and NDR, which is part of it, as one of the major public, thanks, your friendly German. See below, news networks and not, just, some private company, so it's supposed to be held by very high standards. Now people that are already skeptical of public news networks will have even more ammunition for their arguments.
They're not owned by the state.
You're right, my fault. Wikipedia has more information.
And yet somehow people still don't believe this is happening in the United States.
Oh, they know. They're just Republicans and they therefore know that Russian money is benefiting their side, so they lie and pretend like it isn't happening.
I recall seeing the "I'd rather be Russian than Democrat" t-shirts worn in the US.
Meanwhile in Italy, the Russian embassy withdraws €6 million probably used for the same purposes. And who knows how many and in how many places in EU and around the world.
It's time for every democracy to start prosecuting politicians who get bribes from Russia. Those criminals are sabotaging our democracies from within. They are traitors who belong in prison.
He isn't a politician.
I know. My comment is talking about politicians though. Those are the ones who can cause real damage, which is why they should be prosecuted if they take any money from Russia.
Journalism can cause real damage too. A lot of people believe everything they read.
Tucker Carlson next.
Carlson is legitimately rich before his job. He's just evil.
He might be owned by Russia rather than bought. These things are never a single transaction anyway. The journalist in op belonged to Putin after accepting that money, since Putin could leak it and ruin his career.
It's getting to the point where we need a thorough investigation of anyone that has something positive to say about Russia.
Between this and learning, Qatar has been the biggest funder of US universities since 9/11. WTF? How are there not laws against this BS? This is going to have real consequences for our society.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.